Hello, lovely one. You are welcome to New Focus Approach to Mathematics Basic 7. This is revised edition. And in this video, we want to learn how to solve word problems involving addition and subtraction of fractions. Now we've learned how to solve addition and subtractions already. But now we want to look at word problems where it will lead us in adding and subtracting fractions. Now, before we continue, let's review our knowledge under the concept of fractions. We learned that fraction is part of a whole. Fraction is part of a whole. Or we can also say that fraction is a subset of a whole set. It's a subset of a whole. Now let me explain. Now when we say fraction is part of a whole, we said that let's say we have this as a pizza. It has been divided into 8 equal parts. Okay, and two parts has been taken. And so the part that has been taken is 2/8. The part that is remaining is 6 out of 8, right? That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 8. Now what it means is that if you add these two fractions together, it should give you 1 as a whole. That is what it means. Look at the second pizza also. It has been divided into 4. One part has been taken. Let's say you are eating this portion and your younger brother or sister also is eating the remaining portion of 3 out of 4. When we put this together, we should get 1 whole. And that is what we are trying to establish here. Again, we are also saying that fraction is a subset of a whole set. So let's say a set containing apples. These are 20 apples. Okay. And these 20 apples, assuming I consume 8 out of the 20, it means I have 8 divided by 20. So the portion that has been consumed is 8 out of 20. The remaining portion left is going to be 12 out of 20. If we add these two fractions together, we should get a whole. Right. Now let's take few examples and see. If you ate 3/5 part of an apple and the remaining apple was eaten by her brother Kwame. Again, if you ate 3/5 part of apple and the remaining apple was eaten by her brother Kwame, how much part of the apple did Kwame eat? And who had a larger share? By how much? All right, so if this is the whole apple and it has been divided into 5, then if you ate 3/5, so what will be the remaining? Because if the whole thing has been divided into 5, let's say this is the apple divided into 5, okay, and if you has eaten 3/5, that means the remaining 2/5 is eaten by the brother. So we can do that by saying 1 minus 3/5. And if you do the subtraction, you get 2/5. Is that right? Good. So it means the brother ate 2/5. And they said we should compare this. Which of them ate much? And you can see that if you ate 3/5 means that she ate most of the apple, right? And by how much did she eat? She ate the difference between the two, okay? It means we want to look at the difference between the two. If you ate 3/5 and the brother ate 2/5, if you subtract, we have 1/5. That means if you ate 1/5 more than what the brother ate. Good. Let's take another example. Jack finished coloring a picture in 7 12 hours. Victor finished coloring the same picture in 3/4 hours. Who worked longer and by what fraction was it? Okay, so you can see comparing the two fractions, we have 3/4 and then 7/12. So if you compare them as usual, we can say, okay, let's multiply each of them by 100. When you multiply this by 100, 4 divide itself 1, 4 can divide here as 75. Oh, sorry, as 25. And when you multiply the 2, you have 75%. If you also divide here by 100, you can say 4 can divide here as 3, 4 can divide here as 25. If you multiply 25 by 75, that will give you 175, right? And if you divide by 3, you have 50, I think 58 point something, right? 58 point, um, 0.3333, which means that if you compare these two, you can see this fraction is bigger. And so the question says, who worked longer? Who worked longer? Okay, that means um, Victor finished his work in 3/4 hours. That means Victor worked longer because he has the bigger fraction. Who worked longer and by what fraction was that? So it means that when we do subtraction of 3 divided by 4 minus 7 divided by 12, we'll know the difference between the hours in which they worked. And of course, here, if you use the LCM method, you have 12 here. 4 can divide 12 as 3 times that will give us 9. And 12 can divide itself as 1 times 7 will give us 7. If you subtract 7 from 9, you have 2 out of 12. And that is the same as saying 1/6. So that means 1/6 difference in terms of the hours they work. They work in 1/6 difference. Good. Let's take the last example. Now, at a school demonstration farm, okay, 2/5 of the farm is set aside for vegetables, 3/7 for maize, 1/10 for groundnuts. The rest of the land is used to grow plantain. What fraction of farm is used for vegetables, maize, and groundnuts? What fraction of the farm is used to grow vegetables? And the vegetables gave us 2/5. Okay, then we are going to add, because we want to look at the part of the land that is used for vegetables, maize, and groundnuts. And so we are going to add the vegetable part, which is 2/5, and then 3/7, and then 1/10. So this is the portion of the land that was used to grow groundnuts, maize, and vegetables. When we add all this together, we need to find our LCM. And take note that our LCM, we know that already, how to find LCM of a given set of numbers. So with this one, our LCM is going to give us 70. Now 5 can divide 70 as 14. Sorry, 14 times 2 will give us 28. Then 7 also can divide 70 as 10 times 3 will give us 30. Then 10 can also divide 70 as 7 times 1 will give us that. And when we put all together, we have 28 plus 30 will give us 58 plus 7, which will give us 65. So 65 divided by 70. And here 5 can divide 65 as 13, and 5 can divide 70 as 14. So the fraction for the whole is going to be 13/14. Okay, now that represents the portion that was used for vegetable, maize, and groundnut. Now, what fraction is used to grow plantain? That means after growing all these three crops, what is the leftover portion of the land? Okay, and that is simply 1 minus 13 divided by 14, because if the whole land is used for maize, vegetables, and groundnut, the remaining portion is going to be this. So when we do a simple subtraction, we are going to have here is super 1. Again, LCM is 14. 1 divides 14 as 14 times 1 will give us 14 minus 14, also divide 14 as 1 times that will give us 30. So when we do simple subtraction there, we have 1 divided by 14. That means the land that is used for plantain, or the portion of the land, is 1/14 of the land that was used for plantain. With this, I'm sure you can go ahead and solve more questions under this concept. Thanks so much for watching.